guys, thanks for coming back to our channel, Move It with Mike, michaelglass.com. Please help us out. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button so you can continue to receive the quality content that we provide for you. As always, we like to start off with our disclaimers, and this disclaimer simply says we're here for educational, informational purposes. Anything you do is solely your own responsibility. Trade at your own risk. So, this is our weekend analysis of the stock market. We're going to look at the economic calendar and see what happened that impacted the market this week. We'll take a look at the charts of some of our market leaders, our fangs. We'll also take a look at some of our futures charts. And then we have education spotlight at the end. As always, we like to start off with a little bit of enlightenment. And our quote for today is thoughts without steps towards their fulfillment is the beginning of idleness. And that simply says, we have dreams, we have hopes. You have to take steps towards those dreams. Otherwise, they're just idle. And actually, those dreams can begin to fester and turn into negative because you're not doing anything towards those dreams. So when we look at our markets, we can see that all markets rose for the week. And again, look at the Nasdaq being back above positive for the year, although our S&P and Dow Jones are still down at least 10%, 15% for the Dow Jones, 10% for the S&P. But the Nasdaq has entered into, once again, this is the second time that for the week it is positive for the year. And since the virus impact. And what's interesting about that is, again, when we take a look at our FANG stocks, Facebook, and a couple other stocks, will really clearly show the story as to why the NASDAQ is leading the market. Gold fell a little bit, but it's still up 13% for the year. Crude is up 13% for the week, but it's still down 50% for the year. So again, NASDAQ continues to lead the market. There's not really much going on overseas. And then we had Hertz at the end of the week here file for bankruptcy, another company. And you think about it, people aren't traveling. People aren't traveling, then they're not renting cars. If they're not renting cars, they're not making money. And one of the big economic things that happened this week is both Fed Chair Powell and the Secretary Mnuchin testified before Senate this week. And to be honest, they both basically talked about the need for more stimulus to the economy. That doesn't mean that they're endorsing what the House passed, but they are saying that there should be a consideration for more. And we do know that the Republicans, they're not actually saying they're against stimulus. What they're saying is they're against certain things. Like they don't want to extend any more of this unemployment benefits. They have what's called enhanced unemployment, which is adding $600 above what the state's already given. They although that's in the House bill, you really don't see that passing. We know that Republicans want to protect businesses from lawsuits as a part of their portion of the bill. So again, if you're on YouTube, there are a lot of videos on stimulus. So I'm not trying to compete with that. I'm here as an investor trying to help you invest. So, what's going to happen this week? There's not any real key earnings this week. I will say last week talked about retail, and we did see Target, Lowe's, Walmart all post really good earnings, Home Depot. And why? During that quarter, where were the only places open? Lowe's, Home Depot, Target, and Walmart. All the other retailers. Why is JCPenney filing for bankruptcy? Neiman Marcus. Um, all these places, they had to stay closed. The malls had to stay closed. So as malls are opening, and I was at the mall this week, past week, but even though the mall was open, like I wanted to go to Bed Bath Beyond, and inside the mall, Bed Bath Beyond was closed. Other places were open, but Bed Bath Beyond was closed. Not really much going on this week. I do want you to take a notice. Obviously, Monday the U.S. market is going to be closed for Memorial Day, and thus you'll see that crude oil. The report's going to be on Thursday instead of Wednesday, and we do have Fed Chair Powell speaking again. Now, he did speak twice this past week. Again, once with Secretary Mnuchin as they testified before Congress, the Senate committee, and then he spoke on, I believe, Thursday afternoon. Um, but you didn't really see a lot of big movement. So, but you always have to be aware when he speaks. All right, let's pull up the charts. Oh, preliminary GDP. Now, next week we're going to have non-farm payroll until we hear about the jobs report. That's next week. Next week, not this week. All right, let's pull up the charts. So we're going to start off with the S&P 500, and you can see we are still in this zone between 2800 and 2950, just above that. So you can really say 2800 to 3000. We're in that zone. We're looking at this gap down area right here. That is what is acting as our resistance. And we have not been able to close and accept above into the next zone. So we are going sideways. But still, we came down, tested, and went right back up. So we are still in this zone, and until we close and accept above this I still expect to see this sideways action. And again, what's going to be our catalyst to move the market higher? Yes, Nasdaq and some of these tech companies are booming, but what's going to be the catalyst to move the whole entire market? As the states continue to open up and the economy opens back up, that's certainly going to be positive as long as that we don't see any spikes. I know here in North Carolina we actually have seen a spike, but as long as it's not, states shutting back down, that's going to be positive for the company. So I think that's what the market's really looking for. They want to see a sustained reopening of states and nobody shutting back down. So here's gold again in our sideways action. We had a nice little wick up here, but that's still acting resistance. So I am going to go ahead and change this over here to a horizontal line, and let's go ahead and draw that in here. So we are inside of this zone between basically 1700 to about 1775. We're dead smack in the middle, so I don't really want to mess with it. If it comes down here to the support area, that's somewhere to be interested. And as we come up here to the resistance, that's somewhere to be interested. Crude. Same thing here. We've got this gap down area that we're watching, and that is what's acting as resistance here as we come up. And we have tried, basically we just hovered here for several days. So what's going to be the catalyst to get us back up above this 35 range and start to go close this gap? But we're at the top of the range. You don't want to buy the highs, so we'll have to see. But you can see the low volume right above 35. That's really, again, low volume nodes typically act as support and resistance, or we fly right through them, one way or the other. Now let's get to the star of the day. Check out Facebook. Facebook, just look at that. And the thing is, I mean, there's no earnings. Just just a blast up there on the 20th. And that blast up, what did that do? That got us above this area over here. So let's go ahead and draw that in. This was resistance. And where do we gap up and open? Right above this area here. And we continue to move higher. So we certainly want to watch 20, 23, 50 as we come back down to it, if we come back to it. Is if we break that, certainly filling in this gap area. Apple. Apple is just kind of hovering here towards resistance. What is the SPT doing? Hovering at a key resistance level. Apple's doing that too. So that, again, if Apple starts to move up, you'll see the S&P move up. But even if we move higher, we still have this right here at 327. So as we start to close and accept above 315, 316, we're accepting above that. We still have this resistance here at 327 to be mindful of. So we're at the top of a range. I would say wait and let's see what happens. Amazon used to be the star until Facebook shot up there. So we're still seeing some sideways action from Amazon. Amazon was one of the initial leaders, and now it's just been kind of going sideways. Again, we said wait for a test to come down here. Really would love to test this swing low, but you guys a little bit going on here, 2350 also. Another one of the original leaders back up was Netflix. And you can see it originally moved, but just like Amazon's going sideways. Now it has pulled back a little bit here over the past couple of days. Now the question is, you can argue that we've pulled back to the high volume node. One of them, obviously, this one's bigger down here, but this is a high volume node for it. So are we going to come all the way back down here to 400, 390, or are we going to find some support here around 422? It'll be interesting to see what happens there. And finally, Google. Google's kind of been the weakest out of our FANG stocks. Um, it is doing what the rest of the S&P, Apple, we saw from Apple, just kind of hanging out here. But it didn't make it all the way back up to one of the resistance level. But you can say it didn't make it back up to this swing high right here. But this gap is what we're really watching for. You can see there's a little bit of volume right there. But so you can argue that it has a little bit more room to go up. And since it is one of the laggards, it could go up. But you can also argue that this is a resistance level, and let's wait and see. Do you want to buy the highs? Okay, so as we get to our educational spotlight, we've been doing the same thing for the month of May, and we will finish this out talking about the importance of order flow. We have identified plenty of chart patterns, and they're all great. And most of our chart patterns, that we look at are based off of candlesticks. But how can we get better confirmation, better insight, and into those patterns? And usually what people do is they use indicators, which are mathematical calculations off of price action. But if you're using a footprint and you can actually see what's going on the inside of the candle, you can see reversals, you can see momentum, and you can trade those candlestick patterns better. And we recommend Trading Research Group. Great for order flow, great for understanding what's going on inside of candles. They've got a great community. You got to take some time to learn, but again, use your idle time, use this downtime to better yourself. Along that lines, we wanted to put some things together for you guys to again maximize your time and to become better learners. So tomorrow, Monday, Memorial Day, I'm going to put out my Other People's Money video where we're going to talk about Top Step Trader, Earn to Trade, and One Up, and how you can trade other people's money and become a successful trader. And you guys know that as a part of that, we're going to put up a trading room starting next week, the beginning of June. Our trading room is going to open up, and we're going to try to help people pass their combines, their gauntlets. Also, starting this week, so tomorrow, our Other People's Money video, and then on Tuesday, we're going to start our You Make the Call videos, where we're going to do some technical analysis, some fundamental analysis of companies that you suggest to us. We'll put a video together just for that, and you make the call. Should you buy? Should you sell? You make the call. Send me post below this video, send me an email, or put in the comments of this video. We may just start with the FANG stocks and then take your comments, and then we will take the companies that you want us to do, and we will do a short video, again, technical analysis, fundamental analysis, helping all of us to make the call. So, as we talked about, we're going to put a trading room. It's going to be free, helping people pass the gauntlets, pass the combines. MichaelGlass.com, trading room. Don't forget the hyphen in between trading room. Again, as we talked about, if you want to learn order flow, check out our wonderful trading research group. That's under education.html. And again, if you're looking to trade other people's money, we have a great link for you. Earn to Trade is having a 50% off sale for Memorial Day. So check out our link here to get your 50% off from Earn to Trade. So we're basically Move Up Mike on social media and learn the truth about money on Facebook. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you next time.